Hey, friends, welcome back to the Call to Lead podcast. So, today is going to be another Ask Me Anything episode. And so, we have gathered real questions from our partners and advocates from within the field of Restore Collective who have free reign, including you, if you haven't done this yet, to literally ask me anything. So, we invited them to share their questions with their founding partner mentor who passed it along to me. And I'm excited to share three more thoughtful questions around some things containing both product related questions and also profit or compensation related goodies. So I can't wait to dive into some great questions today, and let's dive in. Yay. All right, friends. So before we get into answering your questions, I want to take a moment to do another Restore Rockstar shout out. So I love to spotlight in each one of our episodes. This is something new that I'm going to be doing. Someone from the field who is doing the things, whatever that is. So it doesn't have to be rank related or even results related. It can just be someone who is a culture queen or creating an amazing culture within her branch, uplifting and encouraging other people, or just exemplifying our values. But today, I am so excited to shout out Hannah Healy. So she's a partner from Iowa, and she, first of all, is crushing it. She ranked to what we call Gold Partner last month, which was really exciting because it qualified her to be a part of a very special training that we're doing for our field. We have two of them going on, but she qualified at the highest level to be a part of what we're calling Star Party. And I was so thrilled to find out that the way that she has continued to crush it in her business is by focusing primarily in person. So there's a million ways to do this business, but if you're a longtime listener of this podcast, you know my heart lies with basically just bringing people together in person, and that conversion that can happen from that and the consistency that it can create in your business is so good and so special. And so not only was Hannah taking our Beauty Lab experience and implementing it in her business, but she took it a step further and created some really cool additions that she may or may not know we are actually incorporating into some of the fun things that we have coming for Restore, inspired by what's working for her. And so, Hannah, I just want to give you a huge shout out to just keep crushing it and abundantly sharing. I think the fact that not only did it work for you, but the fact that you shared with your branch what was working for you so abundantly, that is just right in line with our values. And it's no surprise that you're crushing it. So, congrats, Hannah, and stay tuned for maybe some exciting implementation of some of those ideas that you've been implementing over there. So, let's dive into the first of the three questions that I'm going to answer on today's podcast.
Hi, this is Tara, a Restore Collective partner from Iowa. And I'm wondering, Heather, what advice you give to those of us that like to have options. So we love the Restore capsule being your everyday glow capsule. But what if we like options, more eyeshadow colors and things like that? What's the best route to go for storing those and using a variety of colors?
Hey, Tara, that is such a great question. And it's something that we want to know from you and from the field, kind of outside of our existing line, what might be most beneficial. I've gotten some ideas already. We've got some things in the works and in development within our current product line that might be great solutions for gals like you, whether you are a partner like you, Tara, and so you've got a lot of products, or if you're a makeup pro, maybe a makeup artist. We definitely want to know what you guys want and in terms of creating future products to go along with that. But I'm going to answer your question with what we currently have on the line, because I do think we've got some really good options if you are beyond just the basics of our glow capsule. So in case you're not familiar with what Tara is referencing, our hero product, or the main item, the biggest seller, you could say, that most new customers start with, is what's called our curated glow capsule. And the idea behind it is it's an all-in-one makeup routine that's got your skin tint, your bright balance, it's got a lift bronze, it's got 3 blush balm shades, 3 eye glows, and a brow liner as an option for that piece. But each one has a little home and it's meant to take the overwhelm out of both the application and kind of looking at it like a capsule wardrobe for your face. But for someone like Tara, or maybe you that's listening, that's a makeup gal that's kind of got it covered, and you're like, but I wear like at least, 4 eyeshadows every day, not just 3, or I want options to switch it up based on my clothing. And so my recommendations for someone like you, Tara, who's looking for that, I've got 3. I've got 3 from our current, or forthcoming product line. So the first one, this is pretty cool, and I think you know this, Tara, but you can remove the what we call the training wheels from within your glow capsule. And you can fit as many, you can basically have as many glow capsules as you want. They stack perfectly, two of them on top of each other. If not, I think you could probably fit three on top of each other within your glow bag, which is the most common way to store your Restore goodies. But the idea is when you remove the inner training wheels, you can basically configure your glow capsule however you want. In fact, it could be all eyeshadows if you wanted, or it could be 8 eyeshadows, 2 blush balms, a couple of skin tints, and a couple of lip bronze. Like you can put it however you want to shape and fit a little bit more than what the divider allows you to fit in your glow capsule. And so that is one way that we can see if you want to expand beyond your current or existing Restore collection, get another glow capsule and use that, remove those training wheels. That's exactly what I do. I have 2 glow capsules in my glow bag. One has the training wheels because I'm a simple girl, and I do sometimes rotate out what goes in those little slots. But I have a separate one that has everything else. And what's really cool, this is nuts, with our current line right now, it actually fits almost perfectly that if I put not another skin tint, but if I put all the other Bright Balance shades, all 3 of the other Lift Bronze shades, and then the little half sizes when relevant of the blush balm shades with a full size or 2, and then the eyeshadows, and then even the brow liner, it almost all fits perfectly with pretty much our entire product line in 2 of the glow capsules. So that's option 1, is going for an additional glow capsule. Option number 2 is the Go capsule. And so the Go capsule was actually, that's literally where it was the starting point. Our tins are designed to fit in a grid for on the go, easy curation. Even if you're sharing it, for example, you can use our Build Your Own Eye Glow bundle to create or recommend, like, these are the 4 shadows that I use every single day on my eyes, or maybe it's 3 and a brow liner or something like that. But the idea is you can put your extras, like 4 additional eyeshadows, in that one little palette that you can open and use every day as a part of your routine. Or maybe it's to take your additional blush balms on the go. And what's fun is you can have as many of those cute little palettes and compacts along with you, and it still is going to simplify your routine because, when you go to Sephora or Ulta, you're going to wind up having a million of these like random little palettes with like maybe 1 or 2 shades that you might use, and you're digging around in there trying to find it. And the cool thing is, between the Go capsule and the Glow capsule, which are the 2 current options right now that we have on the line, those are going to be your go-tos for expanding beyond what you have. But it's still going to keep it simple, still going to fit in your glow bag, and it gives you some options there. The third thing that I want to share is something that is coming very soon to our field. And actually, we've had some qualifiers that have already been able to test this out. And that is called our Pro capsule. And so for someone that's a makeup artist or wants literally everything, it's like a bigger version of our Glow capsule where you can fit everything. It's got little individual spots on there for each and every shade of skin tint. It's got spots for all the blush balms. Basically, you can fit everything in that. And so if you're the type that wants a place for everything, that's going to be your option. We're super excited, and it's for sure going to be for partners in the field, and we've had some requests to make it for customers as well. So that might be coming, but it, at the very least, will be open to all partners and paid advocates. So that right now is what we have on the line to help those of you guys who want to expand beyond the basics. And I would love to know your thoughts. Like I said, we've gotten some ideas, and I had one in particular. I love it when you guys do this. Like, she literally sent a diagram, and I was like, this is what we need. And so that is helpful for me to know what you and your customers are wanting and where that demand and the desire and inspiration comes from. Those are the type of things that we will take into consideration for future product development. So great question, Tara.
Hi, this is Courtney, a partner from Brandon, Mississippi. And my question was, I've heard that you've said that founding partner mentors are going through the ranks just like everyone else, but we do not see them on the recognition every month. And I'm wondering why you've chosen not to share them going through the ranks and those details as well.
Yay, Courtney, this is an awesome question, and I'm so glad that you brought it up, and I can definitely hopefully give a little bit of clarity around the decision for how we currently do recognition and why we don't include we do actually include the founding partner mentors, but we include them for all the work and the hard work that they do to support the entire field. And I'll explain a little bit more. But for those that are like, what's a founding partner mentor? What exactly is Courtney talking about? Let me give a little bit more context. So one of the foundational elements that I truly feel like was from the Lord and came to me almost immediately, even before I knew what we were going to be selling or sharing or anything, was the idea that we wanted to be rooted and aligned with a group of founding partner mentors. That's what we call them now. But they're essentially people that have strong leadership skills, that are diverse. They are not yes people. They are not the people that are just fangirls of me or, are going to go along with it. We wanted to create people who were bold leaders who could contribute to help us make something really special that's not just based in my brain, but in the, in the collective, if you will, alignment within our values, but also bringing the immense experience that they offered. They get to be a part of the creation process. And of course, they get to be at that ground level, literally like rooted with us in the dirt, if you will, to build their branches how they desire. But when it came to the compensation side of it, we wanted them to not be like a corporate. They are not a corporate, employee, right? Which has more of like a finite set amount of hours, or this is, I'm your boss and here I'm going to tell you how to do it. I did not want to do that. I knew that each one of them might even do their business in a different way. I know that at least, I think almost half of them work another job outside of this. And I also know that you can be successful and run an amazing business by being able to do that just as well as you can if maybe you're retired and this is all that you're focused on right now. And so I wanted to create an environment where they could each do their businesses a little differently. They could each have a place of culture that's really unique and different from one another. But when it comes to training and systems and things like that for the field, I wanted them to be able to link arms together and be able to support the entire field so that if someone joins a branch, with one of their besties, right? Not even direct to the founding partner mentor, but if they join someone who was their distributor, as they should, they can feel confident that they're not only going to get that branch from that founding partner mentor, but they're going to get the other 9 branches as well to be able to help support them. So an example of this is that training that I mentioned that Hannah, and of course you and Tara as well, have qualified for the Star Party, as well as one that we are calling Gold Rush. So for example, with that and also our Rooted training series that we did last month, each of the founding partner mentors takes a specialty training that they just know their stuff, right? And they bring that energy and they serve the entire field. Also, sometimes some of the gals like to get together. I know that we've got a group of them that have a Facebook page that's not corporate sponsored. It's called Restore Together. That is designed for their branches to be able, since again, some of them work full time, to be able to align together and serve their branches. And so they each do it a little bit differently, but that's how we're going to figure out what's working and what's effective, is for people to not feel like they have to get in line from the corporate environment and to do this the way that they choose to do it, especially given that some of them come even from completely different company or background than I do. They're bringing that idea and wisdom and energy into Restore. And so as for why we don't recognize them, so they are paid through the compensation plan, which means that they are building and ranking just like you guys if you're a part of Restore. They of course are partners, but they do grow from the comp plan. But from the beginning, we treat them like that elite level. So they get a lot of the benefits that that elite level would be without necessarily having to feel like they have to hit that rank. Now, the pay and structure from the compensation plan in general with Restore, it comes from creating volume. And so each one is going to have a little bit of a different volume, which is going to create the requirements for her rank and things like that. And so each one of them is a little different. And so the reason that we don't recognize them individually is we don't want someone who's on one founding partner mentors branch to look and think, oh gosh, just because this person is maybe at a higher rank or has higher sales this month, or has enrolled more people, that their founding partner mentor, that their branch is not just as valuable. Because again, they're not just getting the branch that they're on, they're getting all of them. Because sometimes people may enroll directly to that founding partner mentor, but sometimes they may not. They may enroll to someone many levels down, right? And so the idea is that they are all still here to serve, and they are all, aligned together in the values and the same vision for what we're doing to lift up and serve the field. So I hope that makes sense. The reason that we don't want to do it is we just don't want people to feel like oh gosh, I wish I had joined this branch, or oh, my gal, isn't able to have that same capacity. Plus, leadership looks different for everybody. Some people are strong sellers or might, have a big or larger following. Some people focus more on enrollment and focus more on building really wide, right? Some are more one-to-one individual. Like I even know one of them that is considering completely going off of social media herself. That's exactly what I did as a mentor. And so the idea is that you're going to be inspired by the collective growth, and also you can be inspired by what's happening in the field, whether that person is on your branch or not, because even if she's on a different branch, you can learn from what they're doing as they continue to share. So I hope that answers your question. That's how we do it for now, and that was kind of how we agreed as a founding partner mentor family to do it. And I think right now it's working really well. So hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for asking it, Courtney. All right, next question.
Hi, my name is Carrie. I am from Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. And Heather, I would like to ask you, how do we best address melasma, hyperpigmentation, or age spots with using the Brighten Balance?
Hey, Carrie, this is such a great question, and one that I'm going to answer quickly, but then I'm going to dive in a little deeper around why we created the Bright Balance, because it's a pretty cool product that's in our Glow capsule. So my favorite in general Bright Balance that works really, really well on melasma, dark spots, sunspots on women is Harmony. So if you have not tried Harmony on dark spots and sunspots, it is magic, because it's going to be actually a little bit of a darker shade, but it's really muted and neutral to where it's going to go on, and it's going to kind of mute out with a little bit of depth on the area that has the darkness, but it's going to kind of smooth it out as a base layer, or even you can even use it after. So not that that color is necessarily going to be the spot on for most people. That's going to be your most common color corrector from within our Bright Balance shade, is going to be using the color Harmony. And that's exactly what it was designed to do. But what's really cool is all of our Bright Balance shades, and right now we have 7, they are designed to do both things. So for example, Harmony is a killer brightener for women of color as well. And so it works as both a bright on certain skin tones and a balance on others. Whereas if a woman of color has dark spots or sunspots, or sometimes even around like their mouth, they can get a little bit of more of like a depth or a blue tone here, an undertone where it's a little bit darker. Harvest was designed exactly for that, and it is like a magic eraser on women of color. So Harmony is going to be too light if someone is, for example, N9 from within our skin tint range, and so Harvest would be really, really beautiful for that. Now, if someone has very fair skin, I would say N5 or lighter than N5, which that's a little bit me. So like I do have one sunspot, one little melasma here. Also because I play golf, I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation going right here. And so for me, I use Heaven as my bright balance, because my primary thing that I'm looking to color correct is my redness. That's my primary concern or area that I'm looking to correct. And so for me, that's Heaven. So I'll take a little bit of Heaven and I'll just kind of slap it on before I do my skin tint in those areas. And it absolutely does color correct it, because I'm C4. So I am usually a little bit lighter than N5. I can wear N5, but C4 is my go-to. And so I would say C4 and lighter. You might prefer something like Heaven or Hope to cover any dark spots. But I see that for most women, they're usually, first of all, tan. They usually spend a lot of time in the sun. And so sometimes they're warm toned. That's a little bit more of a common thing. So you're going to see Harmony in our tan warm, and I think also in tan cool. Pretty sure it's in both of those. In those quiz results, you're going to see that Harmony is our suggested balance shade for those skin tones, because that's usually what's needed to correct that depth of color there. So there's not a wrong or a right answer, but if you have not tried Harmony and you struggle with melasma, dark spots, sunspots, give it a go. It is magic. And the fun fact is the consistency and the formula from our Bright Balance is completely different than our skin tint. And that's intentional. It is a more heavy coverage. And we actually even have 2 different coverage levels from within the Bright Balance. Like for example, Heaven contains what's called petrolatum, that makes it kind of spread a little easier on larger areas like redness. Whereas something like Harmony or Hope, which is like Heaven's baby sister, Hope is magic on acne, and you want it to kind of stay put. So it was meant and designed to last. But if I wanted to, now Hope will cover redness, which, fun fact, if you have redness, our elixir, like my mom and actually Lindsay, one of our founding partner mentors, and Colleen, all three of them used to need Heaven in order to color correct their redness until they started using the Renewal skincare. And all three of those ladies, well, my mom is like, what do I do with this exactly? And I'm like, oh, like trying to find something to color correct on her face. And so she still has, I think, Heaven in her palette, or we might have even given her Harmony. I can't remember what we switched out. Oh, my mom actually has the training wheels removed. So she's got all kinds of stuff in her palette. She just goes, but marches to her own drum over there. And so there's no telling what she's got going on in her palette. But now she hardly needs the color correction from it, which is amazing thanks to our skincare and the elixir in particular. It's like probably her favorite thing that we have here at Restore. So I hope that answers your question, Carrie. That's a really, really good one. And keep questions like this coming, you guys, whether they are comp plan related or product related. There have been some serious good ones, and I'll probably do this once a month moving forward. And next week, we'll start to dive back into some fun trainings for you guys. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that y'all have a beautiful week. I am going to wrap us up in prayer. Lord, thank you so much for the blessing of being able to invite our field to be able to ask the hard questions, the honest questions, and the questions that honestly I think are going to be really helpful to those that are listening. And so thank you for the ladies who've shared today, for their boldness, for Tara and Carrie and Courtney. And we just are so thankful to even have this opportunity to do this with you, Lord. And so just be with us as we go this week and help to equip us with the ideas and inspiration of how to do this well. And we're so thankful for all of it. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, see you next week.